JAMB classifies some UTME results with high score as fake. Plus, Nigerian pilgrims in Mecca to start returning home on Tuesday. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us on the 7 p.m. news on Nta Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. I am Abdullahi Hajj. First, let's begin with disaster and emergency issue. Report just reaching us says search and rescue operation is currently ongoing by disaster and emergency responders following the collapse of a 4-story underground building at Cafe Life Camp, Abuja. Our correspondent Onutu Yakubu, who is presently at the location of the collapsed building, reports that the disaster occurred midday, Monday, 3rd July. Early information reports indicate that unspecified number of people are currently trapped under the building. Workers are currently, the rescue operation is currently ongoing to ensure that more people are rescued from the collapsed building. Residents of Trademore Estate, Lugbe, Abuja have appealed to the development control units of the FCDA to redirect their thoughts towards fixing the collapsed building, towards fixing the collapsed and failed dam and canals at Alita rather than making their homes for demolition. They maintain that allocation process and approvals were duly followed. Serafina Okonumekwe reports.
The source of the flooding was due to the collapse and failure of the dam at Aleta.
Towards mitigating perennial flooding at the Trademore Estate, Lugbe, Abuja, residents say after a series of interface with developers and the Department of Development Control of the FCDA, all directives and recommendations given them were adhered to when flooding began in 2014. According to them, some of the measures were to demolish all single culverts and construct double box culverts. Other measures including dredging and desilting all canals passing through the Trademore, and to re-erect falling retaining walls, which they say invariably stopped flooding from 2015 to 2018.
El-Rufai actually, it was the one who apportioned us this place, right? And the developer built and people bought. And the Federal Mortgage Bank, owned by the federal government of Nigeria, is the financier of this estate. Where is the illegality? There is no house in Trademore that needs demolition for water to go through. Now, if government or rather the FCD have done what they are expected to do, we'll have no incidences of flooding here, right? So we are willing to engage them, but they should be willing to come and do clinical assessments.
They further added that all recommendations on channeling flood water by specialists were ignored by the FCDA. The residents advised that all allottees on the Airport Road corridor should be recertified, saying the Trademore Estate was built in 2007 when Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, was in charge of allocation, and when the FCDA took over, all allottees were requested for recertification, which the developers did, thereby housing over 250,000 houses. Serafina Okonumekwe, NTA News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has met with the National Security Advisor, Service Chiefs, and the Inspector General of Police for the first time. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila reports on this and other engagements of the President.
The security heads since their appointment. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, said the meeting was to thank the President for appointing them and assure the nation of ending all forms of security challenges.
We know what he wants for this country. We are going to work tirelessly to ensure that we accomplish that objective of securing our country, establishing peace, stability, and let's get our lives back. He gave us the assurance that he is with us 100%. He told us that we must work as a team. and there is a work to be done. He will expect us to deliver, and we are grateful for the opportunity.
In another development, President Bola Tinubu has assured the business community of his government's commitment to policy consistency and better business climate to attract investment. The president was speaking when he received the delegation of the Shell Petroleum Development Company, led by the Global Upstream Director. President Tinubu welcomed the SPDC's offer for more investment in the oil and gas industry, assuring the Shell management and other investors of his administration's willingness to maintain an open-door policy towards addressing their concerns. The president also assured that his government was removing all forms of bottlenecks in order to ensure Nigeria becomes an attractive investment destination. The SPDC director, Ms. Zhu, applauded what she described as incredibly strong start of the Tinubu presidency and expressed optimism that the bold steps taken by the government will renew Nigeria's pride of place as an investment destination. She said Nigeria remains a strategic investment country for the company in view of the long history between the two entities and the prospects held by the country's oil and gas sector. The president also received in audience former Zamfara State Governor Ahmed Sani Yarima Bakura.
I think this is a very good beginning, and I'm sure all we need from Nigerians are prayers and patience. I'm sure by the grace of God, the president will be very successful.
From the State House, Abraham Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
Well, talking health now, research indicates that millions of Nigerians still lack access to quality and affordable health care, despite the introduction of the National Health Insurance Scheme, which is targeted at achieving universal health coverage for all. Hakimat Aliyu in this report takes a look at the FCT situation on health insurance scheme, looking at the derivable benefits.
Meet Simon Ode, an on-air personality with an Abuja radio station. Mr. Simon, a father of 4, has his family enrolled under the FCT health insurance scheme. He expresses relief that when it comes to accessing health care, he has no worries.
It's just like what I started with that waste of 18, which I should have spent roughly 150,000. But I did not pay that money. It should have come from my salary, or maybe I should have gone and look for money to pay. So now, because I'm there, I did not pay those money.
This puts Mr. Simon off the list of many who have to do out-of-pocket spending for health services, which most times leaves the average and vulnerable Nigerians in penury, a situation the health insurance seeks to address.
It covers most of the reasons why anybody will go to the hospital. More than 80% of conditions that take you to the hospital. Things like basic surgery, cesarean section, appendicitis, fibroid, they are all covered.
However, despite the enormous benefits of the health insurance scheme, it is yet to get a legal backing for its operations in the FCT as a state.
When you look at the number of lives that are registered with the FCT-HIS, it's considered one of the best in the country. But overall, among the 6 cardinal pillars of the health system, I think much.
It's worthy to note that the National Health Insurance Scheme NHIS Bill provides a policy framework for the establishment of the FCT Health Insurance Bill, a development many believe will bring about an effective mandatory health insurance program. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliyu, NTA News.
The Federal High Court Abuja Division has dismissed the suit filed by Premier Academy Abuja, seeking an order of the court to stop the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, from investigating the alleged rape and death of its 14-year-old student. The presiding judge, Justice Evelyn Maha, who gave the order, held that the suit was frivolous and lacked in merit. Judiciary correspondent Miriam Emeka Amadi tells us more.
Karen Hapuch, a boarding student of Premier Academy, died on June 22, 2021 after she was infected by sepsis, allegedly caused by a condom left inside her by a killer rapist, which compromised her immunity, spiked her blood sugar, leading to her death by hyperglycemia. Following her death, the mother of the deceased, Vivian Vehemga Appa, lodged an official complaint at the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, accusing the school of service failure, which allegedly exposed her daughter to rape and eventual death. Acting on the said complaint, FCCPC issued a summons to the school to come and answer questions arising thereof, but the school accused it of attempting to usurp the statutory powers of the police and asked the court to stop it. In a verdict, Justice Maha held that the first defendant, FCCPC, acted within the ambit of the law and has statutory right to demand for document from the plaintiff and cannot be declared unlawful based on the plaintiff's lack of reasonable cause of action.
This does not necessarily deal with the criminal angle of the case. It essentially has to do with the civil and consumer rights issues.
I just pray that it continues in this vein. FCCPC does their bit and we get to the bottom of the matter.
The verdict of the court does not stop other agencies from carrying out their own investigations. Miriam Emekamadi, NTA News.
Now, the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAM says many of the results being paraded as best results of the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME are fake. The board stated this while expressing worry over the ugly trend being publicized and celebrated by some media houses and used in deceiving good-spirited Nigerians. A statement by JAM's head public affairs and protocol, Fabian Benjamin in Abuja advised anyone with intentions of honoring or awarding scholarship to students who claim to have scored high marks to confirm such claims from the board, noting that some of the self-acclaimed high UTME scorers had manipulated their results. The board cited the case of Ms. Ejikeme Joy Mesoma, who claimed to have scored 362 in the 2023 UTME and was awarded a 3 million naira scholarship by Chief Dr. Innocent Chukuma, while her original score is 249. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACOM, has announced Tuesday, July 4, as the date for Nigerian pilgrims to start returning. Chairman of the Commission, Zikrullah Kunle Hassan, disclosed this in Makkah while reviewing Nigeria's outing at the just concluded pilgrimage. Various stakeholders expressed deep concern over the challenges encountered and called for re-strategizing for the future. It was gathered that Nigeria lost 2 of the pilgrims in Muna and 4 on the Arafat day, as confirmed by the head of the Nigerian medical team, Dr. Usman Galadima. As global attention is being shifted to issues of gender equality and inclusive governance, a women group, Women of Worth, has appealed to governments at state and federal levels to involve more women in development. Hadiza Godwin Ebune tells us more.
At the Women of Worth Awards celebration, they said at the moment, major economic and political power is largely in favor of the male gender, leaving the female at the receiving end. According to them, proven records show that gender equality supports economic growth and national harmony.
I will dedicate this award to the Nigerian women, and especially the downtrodden women, the voiceless. Whatever you give a woman, she will definitely give you back 100-fold more of what you've given her to hold. So we always leave things better than we met them.
We have great women doing exploits in Nigeria in all the sectors, in the private sector, in the administrative sector, political sector, the technocrats, the women are there. The tested politicians, we have women of high quality and repute that can fit into any role given to them.
Women of Worth say to this end, they have restated a new resolve to the advocacy for not just gender equality, but right of a girl child in education, good health care, and the socio-economic improvements of women.
Women right now have to just be in strategic watch to see what the new government has in store for us. I just want to say the men should show the women mercy and trust them. They should trust women. Women will never fail.
We have a lot of women who are doing extremely well in the political scene, and we would like them to have a space.
Awards were presented to women who have left indelible marks in their different endeavors. Former Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Talen, and Dr. Betty Olutunde were recognized, while Barrister Hajara Kadri got Groundbreaker Social Housing Award, among others. Hadiza Godwin Ebuni, NTA News.
Malaria won't show power for your side. It can knock you down. I'm a temp salt gel.
You are.
Me I can tell you no say. Malaria my lesson when no get bad days. Oh my God. Out and it easy to swallow. I got red game changer. I'm a temp salt gel.
Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
Who wants to tell me the answer? Good. This way.
I give my soul. You get my time and dedication.
Hey, stop that.
You know, get waiting for life. Where I know fit to. Cause all the dream where we don't dream must to come true. It must to show for you. Cause it's sure for me. Together we will ride against the mountains away. So make you dare with me. Cause I dare for you. Together we will ride against the mountains away.
Teach the advanced way with Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
Up next is Sports Brief.
The West African Football Union Under-20B Men's Cup of Nations will kick off in Abidjan on Friday, July 7, 2023, without Flying Eagles of Nigeria. Host Côte d'Ivoire are paired with Ghana, Niger, and Burkina Faso in Group A, while Togo square up with Benin in Group B following the withdrawal of Nigeria. Talking volleyball, Nigeria's under-21 girls team have departed for Niamey, Niger Republic, ahead of the 2023 African Under-21 Girls Zone 3 Nations Championship. The delegation comprises of 12 players, head coach Rekia Mohammed and 2 assistant coaches Dennis Eleri and Anthony Tobonde, as well as a referee Manuel Hassan. Elsewhere, Kenya's Titus Ekiro, 6th fastest man in history in the marathon, is facing a potential 10-year ban after receiving a provisional suspension for doping. With Sports Brief, Francisca Bile, NTA News.
That's it on the English segments of the news. Up next is the news translations. Good evening and thanks for watching. I remain Abdullahi Hajia.
fe ye fe che fe we yuze ko yin kwa we wona na iwo abada zaza nge beji sasi isha ndaje zuma woni ye wa goba ngai ayi abada bo abada yi we sheye yi nge ai wiye mba shin ba gab majin asa mbenu koi jejinya bo yi chen ba gilo bai ma azajin nya kwa la ya puba no ejina iko ge dakpe la ono ti ya ku woni jindo na bai ho yi wa ngai go nya ko la ya no na ye ni pe tunu atiko ape mi ape shi azakile nya kwa la ya puba ama agbọn ìwé aza ngún àti alaba fún ìdíkó nígbà bẹ́ẹ̀ ní àtúntò nílò ní àfúnwá àgbáyé àgbẹ̀jì àyànnípò àpàjẹ ńlọ ngún àyìn ìṣìgbà ní ayíkọ̀gẹ̀ tredmore ńkọ́ ní filọ ní lùgbẹ́ sẹ́pà yìí ńlá bà sẹ́pà àpi mìíràn ńgẹ̀ bàlá bùgbà ṣàdó ìṣìgbà yẹ kọ́ yìí ẹ̀kọ́ lálàyà yẹn sẹ̀rẹ̀fínà ọ̀kọ́n wọn náà lẹ́sẹ̀ bá wọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà bẹ́ẹ̀ dáyé wa ngege angege baba apua ya mbai balo bale ba mi agbedo shukonya nkonu lo nu aleitai na bage ba pua kwa poba ba ngage ye apie mami baba ko hwi azoko apimia agbe gaba nge ba me apie kami ba ya ba me amumopa ayekpe zan abia ayi gaba pe lege jam na pabu igbeyin bagenge onya nkwa kumbe aiku mumu zo nyele yin ngenya iko nyai hoponu ko jin akata benu bagenge beye ko yin ko samba bugbalo ko yin wumba yalo gambie sepanya nun abada sepa na yoge Fabian Benjamin wa gange azaba te lababa gma nyai nun abia bebache ngeje ko ni jin onya mbabwa nyele yin bayla atnbwa gbin ayepe zan aba mba ne mpugba mana idnalo nge baye ba ga abi majin mba na ji mumuye nkwen nlawu ndu nge akukwe abi be nya ba pa kami aga abi epia majin amaje ye boada nkote nan atajin abo aya dapo beun saisu